This is the third guest episode of the Creative Genesis podcast. We named it Third AD. Check it out. You are listening to the Creative Genesis podcast by Winfluence Media, the show that speaks to professionals in the creative field and entrepreneurs, asking them how they got started so that you too can begin your own journey. If you're looking to step up your journey as a creative or entrepreneur, then you are in the right place. So stay tuned and follow the Creative Genesis podcast, the stepping stone to your success.
Honestly, I want the youth to know that anything is possible, first of all. And it's not necessary that I was a doctor, I was an engineer, and that's why I cannot get into this field. You can get into the field. You have to have the right mindset.
Hello and welcome. You are tuned into the Creative Genesis podcast with your host, Ryan Lobo. Today, I interview Miss Marion Mendes, the young and vibrant social media strategist with an inspirational journey to share with you. Today, she not only talks to us about starting from scratch, but how she rediscovered a passion that she once believed she was no good at. This is an episode that not only every young, aspiring lady entrepreneur needs to watch, but every young person too. So check it out. Before we get into this heartfelt conversation with Miss Mendes, a short word from our sponsor. Content is everything these days, and with the rise of real content, businesses now more than ever need to start employing high converting content for their businesses. Listen to this quote. Without marketing, there will be no sales. And without sales, there will be no money. Without money, there will be no business. Marketing is the name of the game. Are you a business based in Goa? Well, if you are, then we are the marketing partner for all of your requirements. From shooting real content to setting up your very own podcast to shooting and editing professional face-to-camera content for your business, we have the most professional setup for your video production requirements. If you need content on a monthly basis, we are the agency for you. Contact us at videoproductiongoa@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on 7083 401 793 to get to know us better. You can even watch our presentation video on winfluencemedia.in. That's winfluencemedia.in. Winfluence Media, media that wins. Now let's get back to the show. We have Miss Marion Mendes in conversation. So let's dive right into it. Cool, we are here with another episode, and today we have Marion. Marion, is it Marion Mendes? Which one? Mendes, right?
Mendes.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused with another Marion. So thank you so much for coming.
Most welcome. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I wanted to meet you here, because my sister introduced us, right? And I've known you for like maybe 2-3 years, right? And recently we met and you told me your amazing story.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, so many young people need to know your story.
Right.
And it was inspirational to me, you know? I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought you here, and thank you so much for picking up my call.
Yeah.
She was not picking up my call for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
But I'll tell you why I said that. Because there's another friend of mine who's into social media.
Yeah.
And he also stopped picking up my calls. And I was like, what's wrong with these social media people? Thankfully you did, right? And that's why you're here today.
Exactly. That's why I'm here.
You know, I learned this from a mentor of mine. He makes it a habit. If he's busy, he cuts the call. I'll call you back. And he makes it a point to call people.
Okay.
You know, and I said, maybe even I should do that, because many times he called me and I was busy, I cut the call, but I forgot to call him back.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not a good habit, you know.
Yeah.
So
actually, that's the reason why I never cut calls, because people get offended with cutting calls as well. Like this guy once told me, he was so angry. I said, I cut my call to show you that I'm busy, you know, and I'll call you. And even that, you know, you get the messages, right? Where you message.
Yeah.
I put that message, I'll call you right back. And he was so offended. So even if I say a call, I don't, because I don't know who's going to be offended when I'm honestly busy. You know, sometimes I'm riding or, you know, I'm traveling or I'm in a crowded area and I don't use my phone. So that's the reason why I don't. And then I always miss out. calling
No,
back,
but
but it is.
I do think that you should cut the call and say, hey, I'll call you back or I'm busy. Because like being on the call itself is time.
Yeah,
You know, and
correct.
like time is money. So,
Right, definitely.
so I think forget that guy. That was
Yeah.
an anomaly
Yeah.
that he got so offended. Maybe he gets offended at everything. You
Yeah,
never
he's an
know.
old man.
Okay, then let's
Yeah.
let's forget him. So, this is like, do you know the first question I ask all my guests?
No.
Okay, so the first question I ask, suppose we had never met,
Hmm.
okay, and we're meeting for the first time, and I don't know you as much.
Yeah.
Marion, who are you?
So I love this question, and
Oh,
I'll
you
tell
do?
you why. Yeah. So this is how I introduce myself all the time. During the week,
Right.
during the week and during the days of the week,
Mhm.
I am a digital marketer.
Mm-hmm.
At night, I transform into a dancer.
Wow.
Where I teach dance, I host dance events where
Wow.
people come, they get a free workshop and they learn. And all my dance classes, whether it's a wedding choreo or whatever it is, that happens in the evening. So by night, during the week, I transform into this dancer. And during the week, we've not reached the weekends.
Okay, so
During the day
okay,
of the week,
okay.
I'm a digital marketer.
Mhm.
At night, during the week, I'm a dancer.
Mhm.
And during the weekends, I'm this adventurous person. And what I mean by that is I go trekking. I take people trekking. I go sailing. I go kayaking.
Wow, I never knew
and
that.
I take people with me for all these things. So I'm an adventure seeker during the weekends. That's when I do my traveling because I work during the week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I go explore new places. If it's in Goa or it's outside Goa. So these are the three sides of me that are there. So,
I think you're the first person who was ever able to like summarize who you are in like a very short. I gave like a huge bhashan and that answer didn't even like talk about who I am, It was so abstract.
Yeah.
It was so I was there. Then Rishad also, he gave a long answer, but much better than mine. So you're the first one who could like really, that's amazing. Like, I think I need to practice who are you, Ryan? In a short form. So, okay, now I got to ask you, like, what's your niche? Like, what do you specialize in? You said you're a digital marketer.
yeah.
You're a dancer. So, what's your niche?
So when it comes to marketing, digital marketing is very broad. It's a very broad subject.
Right.
I started off as a content writer,
Oh,
just
really?
a writer. And I got introduced to this whole chapter of social media or through influencers actually. And I was like, what are they doing? I want to do that. So I started learning about the subject and that's how I ended up coming into digital marketing and then I niched down to just social media marketing. And when I started off also, I was taking different brands and maybe as a young new beginner who just wanted money, I did that and I've done mistakes. But then I realized what was I best at was the restaurants business. So F&B,
Oh,
yeah, food
really?
and beverages, hospitality, that's me. Like I can give guarantee on those things,
Wow.
on those brands. So when I market them, and I just do social media, there's 3 platforms, Instagram, Facebook and Google My Business for people to find you. If people need other platforms, I'm there to do it. But this is what I specialize in terms of the marketing. And when we speak about dance, it's only Latin dance forms.
Well, like,
So-
even there are a lot of Latin dance songs.
So there's salsa, bachata, and a little bit of ballroom, which is jive. I love jive. We are Goans.
Yeah, we
Goan,
all
it
love jive.
runs in my blood.
I
So,
wish I could jive
yeah.
properly.
So jive is how I started with, and because it's modern day, so people are not doing regular jive classes. That's how I got introduced to Latin. And so there's Latin, salsa and bachata from Latin and jive from ballroom that I really specialize in and I teach only
So
these
where,
three.
where do you teach? Because I need to come with my wife.
So right now we only do private classes.
Okay.
Earlier we used to do group classes, but then it just became too much for me when the new business started.
Yeah.
So there's only one thing you can focus at a time. Like, marketing is regular.
Yeah.
So this is only on project basis, like, 2-3 classes or whatever as per the couple's need. So I do that at my space.
But I was really impressed that you also choreograph wedding dances.
Yeah, we do that as
That's
well. The
amazing.
first dance, yes.
Wow. So we got ours done by Jason and Sylvia.
Oh, nice.
You know them?
Yes, of course. They
I
are
think
like Goa's biggest.
Yeah, right? They're
Yeah,
really big.
Yeah, everyone knows them.
And I don't think they live here now.
No, they
though.
don't.
They've moved
Yeah.
to the UK.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to ask you about your journey and how did it all begin? Where did you start? And also tell us your amazing story,
Yeah.
which believe me is worth listening to.
So, you want to hear about how I started my business or how I got into the field?
No, how you got into the field and now that you started your business.
Yeah.
How did that transition happen? Because when I met you for the first time, you were working with this company that we know,
Yes.
with my sister.
Yeah.
And but now you're running your own.
Yeah.
So how did that transition happen?
So let me first speak a little bit because I want this to reach out to the youth. I'll speak about how I've entered this field of marketing first. Because I'm an engineer. I'm an electronic.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Me
I'm
too.
an electronic and
Go
communication
engineers.
engineer. Yes.
Whoa.
So you know how Indian parents
Wait,
are.
where did you study?
Father Agnel's and Asika.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goa itself.
I think engineers are the best.
We are the best. Definitely.
And most of us engineers
Yeah.
don't follow
We
engineering.
don't follow engineering, but we know about life more than anyone else. We are the best, no doubt. I don't use my degree, but I will always say engineers are the best.
Yeah. No offense to all you other guys.
Yeah,
You are also
no
awesome.
offense.
Yeah.
So I got into that field because I was an NRI and I did not have a seat. I wanted to do
Wait,
computer
where were you before
in
this?
Kuwait.
Really?
Yeah, I was born
Where,
and raised
Salmiya?
in Kuwait. No, Abbasiyah.
Ah, okay. Because I know every
Everyone
time,
is in Salmiya.
No, every time I meet someone from Kuwait, I say, "Are you from Salmiya?" Because I got
Yeah.
friends in Salmiya,
Yes.
And
That's the happening. That's like the Panjim
really,
of Kuwait, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Although that's not the capital,
Yes.
but it's like the happening.
Yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah.
All Goans, everyone's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always are you from Salmiya? Yeah, so go ahead. So were you born and raised there? Or?
Yes. Till
Really?
12th, I completed there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to do computer science over here.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue was that there were no seats allotted for NRIs at all. Like
Mm-hmm.
zero, literally. But there was this one particular category that I could have gotten in, and there was only one computer science seat. One.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, even though I got like the 9th rank, I was placed 9th. The first
So
person obviously
you
took
did
that.
quite well in school.
No,
Kind
I
of.
would. No, I wouldn't say
I'm
it.
going
was
to
just
ask you a very difficult question. What did
And
you
I'm-
score in your 12th standard?
75.
Okay, no, so
Not-
you're okay.
yeah,
like
yeah.
me, I scored I
Yeah.
think 70 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something in 70s. I know it was not a distinction though. I was very close to a distinction, but it wasn't a distinction.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But it's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's totally.
I mean, it didn't stop you from
It
getting
didn't.
jobs, right?
No, not at all.
And
not
it didn't stop you from starting your own
No.
business, so who
at,
cares?
Not at all.
So, okay, you
yeah,
were
so-
9th rank.
Yeah,
and
and
you
there
didn't
was
get
no
computer
seat.
science. Yeah.
So there was only one seat, and closest to computers was electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical was obviously not the option. So I
Yeah.
took the electronics seat.
Yeah.
And just because had that pride, now I wanted to do engineering. I did science in 12th. How can I do BCA, or how can I do? No offense to those guys also.
Abhishek's BCA. No offense, Abhishek. You're great.
Yeah.
BCA is also damn
Yeah,
cool.
it's that. My sister did that,
Yeah?
so I know that she's enjoying. She enjoyed her college life way more than I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Abhishek, did you enjoy college life? No? Boring. Okay.
So I did that, and when I was in my 3rd year, I remember breaking down immensely before an exam and crying to my friend. We'd always study together.
Uh-huh.
And I cried and I told her, I cannot do this. I cannot. Whatever I was reading was, I couldn't take anything into my brains, and I was like, I cannot. And she said, what do you want to do? You want to give up? I said, I want to, but my parents wouldn't allow. Indian parents,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So she said, just somehow pass. And that's what we decided. We were like, okay, we're just going to pass.
Mhm.
And
Which subject was it, if you don't mind
I
me
don't
asking?
remember.
Okay, which was it a language?
No. It was in engineering.
No. Which computer language?
I did electronics, right? So
Oh,
I didn't
yeah,
have
you did.
languages. I
Okay.
loved those languages when we had them, Java, C++.
I was really good at
I
C++.
was damn good at them too.
Yeah?
I was damn good. Yeah,
Wow.
there was this time in 12th, it was just 2 of us who cracked this particular code, I remember, and I was so happy that I didn't get
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, so in my 12th also, like for my final 12th exam, they gave this really tough problem.
Yeah.
And among my classmates, and there were just 3 of us in the 12th, okay?
Okay.
Really sad. But it was fun because all the girls had crushes on us and it was fun. So there was this really tough problem, at least I thought it was tough. And I actually solved it. But at the end, there was one tiny, instead of a / I put a backslash.
Oh, damn.
And because of that one thing,
Oh, no.
like I did not get the result. Then my
Yeah.
sir helped me found it. But I solved it efficiently. And I was so proud of myself, I was
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah.
maybe I'm good at this, But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I did mechanical engineering.
Oh, you also.
No, unfortunately or fortunately.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
yeah, coding is awesome.
It's awesome. I agree.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it during those 2 years. And every time I got that subject or something similar in my engineering days, I loved it. I was very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did electronics.
Yes.
So what is it? Is it B Tech or B?
BE, no?
BE. Yeah. So I did B Tech.
Oh, okay.
So B Tech mechanical.
Okay, I did
So
BE.
you did BE.
Yeah, I did the
Okay.
degree. Right.
No, even mine is a degree.
Even
Okay,
yours is a
don't put
degree.
me
No,
down,
no,
okay?
no. No. But what's the difference though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool.
So okay, so you said I'm just gonna pass this
Yeah,
exam.
I just said I'm going to pass. And when I was in third year, I realized that I was just passing.
Okay.
And if I'm just going to pass and I'm crying one day before means I don't want to study. I don't want anything to do with engineering later because I cannot do it, right?
This was in your third year.
In my third year. So I had to find a backup option. So I started going under the table and seeing like when other kids would be like texting their boyfriends or girlfriends. I was like reading underneath, like on Google, how to make money while in college. So I have some experience when I leave, right? Because those degrees were not going to help me.
But you were sure that you didn't want to.
I was completely sure. I didn't want to do it anymore. So while I was doing that, I realized
You made up your mind quite quickly, though.
very quickly, yeah. Under the table, I was like, if I find those books at the back of my books instead of the chemistry or physics or whatever, you'll find how to write SEO in SEO.
Really?
Yeah.
So cool.
Literally, all those points and all are still there. I used to write at the back of my book. The teacher is lecturing us, and I'm writing how to write efficiently, how to give out your story to people.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I wish I was as smart as you during college.
I wish I'd started earlier, but it's okay. We all
No,
have
but
different.
yeah, everyone starts at some
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah.
So, did you actually make any money then during your
No,
college days?
I did not.
Okay.
I completely did not. But I got a lot of knowledge.
Okay.
Tried my best, different sites. As a college student, you're desperate to make that extra money.
Yeah.
Your parents give you some pocket
Yeah.
money, but you want to make more.
Wait, so I don't know how your college is, but we lived in the hostel. So it was like a residential college, you
Okay.
know. So we lived in the hostel.
Got you.
And I studied in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Beautiful. We were like in the Karunya Hills.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called, but really, really beautiful. So we had a beautiful campus and the environment, beautiful stuff. Were you a residential or no?
No, we did
So
not
you
have. I
go
stayed in a
home?
hostel.
Oh, you did stay in a
I
hostel.
did stay. My parents
But
were
it's not
in
the
Kuwait
college.
itself, but not of the college.
Ah, okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
How was hostel life?
I survived because of my roommates.
Okay.
My landlord was a pain.
Okay.
She was very bad, very mean. We wouldn't get food properly, and there was some really horrible food. And I had a very tough time with her, but I survived only because of them. Like I had some amazing roommates.
And I'm sure you're still friends with them.
Definitely, of course, we meet every time. Like some of them are in Kuwait, some are in the south, but whenever we do meet, and we laugh at those old times, amazing times.
I think you make some of the best friends during school and during college.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
and like in our college, we had riots in our first year.
Oh, damn.
We had like a whole bunch of stuff, In fact, just before entering first year, I got involved in some network marketing company, okay? So that was in Bombay. I was in Bombay before this. And I joined them. And when I went to college, for first few months, I didn't do any work. And then I started working on this network marketing plan, yeah? And so you wouldn't believe it, right? In evening, most of us are supposed to be in like, shorts, t-shirts, just chilling out. But I got so many people to wear a white shirt and black pants and give presentations on the board. It was amazing. I'd be walking through the hostel, I'd be looking inside, and there's this guy in white shirt and black pant giving a presentation to people, 5-6 people. And it was all because of me.
Oh, great.
So, I don't know how many people joined. I think some 30-40 people joined, okay, because of me. And I actually got in trouble because the college found out.
Oh, damn.
And I didn't want to put anyone else
Yeah.
in trouble, So they asked who is responsible. And I said, okay, I am responsible. I'm the only one responsible. So I was nearly kicked out of college.
Oh, shit.
It was the worst because, see, after my 12th, I did 2 years in Russia.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 1.5, but then I lost 2 years of my
Yeah.
life. I thought I lost 2 years of my life. And if I get kicked out now, that'll be 3 years gone.
Yeah.
So I was so, I was suspended for 6 days. I couldn't go to class. I had to stay in my hostel room. And I hardly made any money because that network marketing was like, the legs have to be balanced. I don't know how. I don't know whether you know how it works. But anyway, my leg was really heavy on one side and the other side was really light. So I didn't make much money. Plus, on top of that, my student director, who was like this scary guy, really scary. All the students hated him. He hated all the students. So he imposed a fine of 10,000 rupees on me, which I ended up paying, obviously, with my own money. I didn't ask for my parents. But my dad was so pissed off at me. He was like, he was really angry. But God is so good. Like, so I went to a Christian college, okay? And before you enter the main building where the student director's office is, there's this board which says, not by might, not by strength, but by the Spirit, says the Lord. So basically it's saying it's not because of your influence or your charm or your whatever it is that you will succeed. It's by the help of God. And this guy was mean to all of the students, okay? But with me, for some reason, I was praying or whatever. He started taking a liking towards me, And he treated me so kindly and so respectfully. And obviously, I had to pay the price for it. But I got through, And he was so nice to me. And I was like, whoa, that board really came to pass. Like, so that was an interesting experience. And because of that experience, Marion, I became notorious. Like, I became very famous. Like, this guy was doing business in college and he had so many people working for him. And then he got caught and he didn't put anyone else in trouble except himself. And people never ragged me. I mean, they tried to rag me. But first of all, I was anyway 2 years older than my class, right? So I would actually get offended when they tried to rag me. Because many of my immediate seniors were 1 year younger than me. And I used to get offended. I used to get angry. I remember sitting at this one table, okay? And obviously I had a bunch of close friends who were my classmates and stuff. But I developed a really close friendship with my seniors. There was this bunch of people. We called ourselves Jasper. Okay? Wow. Jasper. We had a name for ourselves and all. And I was sitting with them once and their classmate came and he's also mechanical. And the mechanical department is known as rowdies. Yeah. Probably in your college as well. Same. All rowdies, right? So this guy thinks he's a big rowdy. He's coming and trying to rag me. And I'm sitting there clenching my teeth because I don't like being disrespected. Then finally I couldn't take it. I said, you want to talk to me? Come, let's talk outside. Come. Let's have a man-to-man conversation. Let's go out. Come, let's talk. And all of my friends are pulling me. He's like, Ryan, sit down. Just sit down. It's okay. Just sit down. Just calm down. And I said, no, you come out. Because I was like boiling inside, And he's like, no, it's okay. It's fine. Just chill. In the end, he ended up being a very, not a real bully. He's just acting smart. So, it was like that. I never got ragged, thankfully. Right. But also because I was older than them. Yeah. So, made it easier for me.
That's lucky.
How was the ragging situation?
No, we didn't have ragging at all in our college. We were very lucky. Yeah.
Why? Ragging is fun.
I heard that from my professors. They kept saying that, in our time and in the other colleges. But Father...
No. So let me clarify it because I'm being recorded. Yeah. I don't agree with ragging because some ragging gets extremely bad. Yeah. Extremely bad. Right. But just for fun, to develop a relationship, it's okay. Right. And I also mean not physical ragging or
correct.
Mental ragging. Just hey, what are you doing? Come here, do this for me, do that. I never ragged any of my juniors. I just couldn't bring myself to ragging people. Right. But yeah, it's nice that you didn't get ragged.
We didn't have anything. But our professors told us a lot of their stories.
Yeah.
But it was nice. I mean, I enjoyed my college.
Okay.
It was nice. Didn't do much of activities because we were this new college, I was just the third year. Right? Yeah, third year. When I joined, I was the third running batch. Okay. So we didn't even have a full strength at that point because 4 years of engineering. So we didn't have those activities and those inter-college events or even intra-college events. We did not.
Oh man, they're the
when I reached
most
the fourth year, when I reached the fourth year, that's when we got it. But
how many people in your class?
Around 50.
Oh, 50. Not bad. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Nice. One class and 50 students.
Okay, one class. Okay. Yeah. We had 3 classes and each about 50, 60.
3 classes in one stream?
Yeah. Oh. Like mechanical had 3.
Oh.
And each about 50, I think.
Okay. We had 1 for each stream.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, I completely distracted. I got so fascinated by engineering talk. So yeah, go ahead.
So where was I? So when I was in third year, like I said, I knew I didn't want to do this, and I was searching for ways to make money. And I knew I was good at writing, so I started finding out a way I could write, and I learned this topic, SEO, search engine optimization writing, and people wanted those
there's
kind
like
of
a
blogs.
topic called SEO writing?
Yes.
Oh,
There's
okay.
it's a very big, and it was new for me at that point. I do not know how much into the market it was back then. This
Well, I've
is
never
like
heard
in
of it.
2017.
Okay.
So I started learning about that, and then I came across this girl who was this Santoshi Shetty, and
I
she's
know
an
her. She's an influencer,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So I saw her profile. It just came on my Explore, and I was also new to Instagram. I'd rarely used
Wait,
it.
which year was this?
2017.
You're quite young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to know what she was doing because I saw she was an architect, and architects also have a lot of study involved.
Right.
But there was this girl who was writing about fashion and going everywhere, going for the fashion weeks in Paris here and there, and I was like, what is she doing? And I
Right.
came across this word influencer, and I realized very soon that influencer and SEO blog would still fall under one umbrella, which was digital marketing. And that's when I started learning more about this subject and everything that the subject had. So even
Right.
if I didn't have experience, I knew about it. I very well knew. And that's how I got my first job, because I knew a lot of these topics. So when I got into marketing also, the my interviewer, he just asked me show me your blog, and I showed him, and he said, do you think this was the best? I said,
So
no.
this is, wait, after you graduated?
No, after I graduated, I did 6 months in business development.
What's
there
that? Is it a course? Or?
No, I did a job in business development,
okay.
but it was a new
Goa only.
startup in Goa only.
Okay.
It was a new startup, and I was the only person, so I really didn't learn much over there. I would just help them write some stuff. I would write blogs for when they wanted.
So what kind of company was it?
It was a startup.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just me and a
It
web
was
developer.
not a social media company
No,
or
no, no,
something.
no.
Okay.
It wasn't. And I wanted to get into digital marketing, but I got into a business development course. And I said, okay, fine. I mean, not course, a job. And I said, fine. Because there was this web developer, and you develop the websites, and I would just provide content for it. And as time came, I just saw an ad about dance classes. And this is where I also entered into dance. And we were nearing Christmas, and I was having some old stuff I was dealing with. So I said, and I love dance. I said, let me dance it out, and delete, get over my depression at that point. So I went for dance classes where I met this man, and we spoke about, and surprisingly, now this man gave a talk in my college. So I broke my head for that whole class thinking, where did I see this guy? And he's teaching dance here, and I know I'm not going for any dance class, so where have I seen him? Then I remembered he gave this talk in my college, and there was this one quote where he said that really stayed with me ever
Right.
since then. And the quote was, if you have an apple and I have an apple and we exchange it, we have one apple each.
Yep.
But if you have an idea and I have an idea and we exchange it, we have 2 ideas each.
Wow, that's a lovely quote.
So that
Yeah.
really stayed with me. And when I met this guy and I saw him dancing, I said, you're that man. He said, what man? I said, you're the idea man. He
The
said,
idea
no,
man.
I don't work with idea.
I don't work with ideas.
Yeah, I said, no, but you're the guy who said the quote. And he said, what quote? Imagine he's giving a talk to 150 students, right?
Right.
How is he going to remember now? So I said, you said this quote. And I narrated the quote. And he said, you remember? I said, yes, I do. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm working here.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you spying on me?
Yeah, no. He asked me, like,
What
what
do you
am I
mean,
doing?
what am I
What am I
doing?
working? So I said, yeah, that way. So I told him where I was working. And then he said, I mentor this company, and they are into marketing. Would you like a marketing job in a proper firm? I said, yes. Actually, first I said no.
Okay.
He said, I'll give you whatever you ask for. Into how much you're getting paid there, I'll double it. I said no. I didn't want it for the money.
Wow, double it and all.
Yeah,
huh?
he said double it. And I
Solid
said no.
confidence.
But 6 months down the line in this business development company, I said, this is not what I wanted to be in the
Yeah,
future. So I came back to him and I said, is the offer still on? And I'd like to come and, give an interview. He said, come. And that's how I landed this job in this new company now, which we know about.
Yeah.
And so the interviewer, they asked me he asked me to show some samples, and I had very small samples. They gave no guidance, right? Only internet knowledge. He asked
What do you
me,
mean, no guidance?
no guidance, as in nobody taught me how to write. It was just internet knowledge.
Okay, got it.
No
You
proper,
haven't gone in for any professional course.
Exactly.
Got
And neither did I have somebody telling me if it was right or it was wrong. So he asked me, can this blog be better? Is this the best work? I said, no, it's not. And he asked me, why did you submit it? So at first I was like, why did I submit it if I don't feel it good, right? But then I told him, like, nobody is 100% good ever. And if I
Yes.
think I'm 100% good, then there's no room for improvement.
Right.
Then what's the use? I'll never grow.
lovely answer.
I stopped there, right? And the moment I said that, he just closed my file and he was like, okay, done. That's it. You're in.
Cool.
Yeah, and I remember that feeling was too good because I felt it, from
Yeah,
them
yeah.
also. They said, okay, she wants to learn something. You could feel it. And that's how I got into that job. And so I worked over there for a whole year until I couldn't learn anything more over there. And I said, it's time for me to give up here. And I left that job.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I think
towards-
that's the point I met you.
no, we met 1 year later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I left the job, right, it got very bad towards the end, and I ended up.
What
I
got
don't
very
know.
bad?
The environment and the
okay.
work. So I do not know where the problem happened. If it was from me or it was from the other end, I'm open to that. Where the problem lied. But I just know that when I left with the feeling that marketing is not for me.
Oh, really?
I'm never
so
gonna.
it affected even your purpose in life.
Yes, it did. It completely
Really?
did. And I told myself, there's no more marketing.
Okay, I wouldn't say purpose in life because. but,
Meaning my goal.
Yeah,
The initial goal was to be a marketer, right?
Right.
Ever since I realized engineering was not for me, I
Mm.
got into this digital marketing. And when I left that company, I said, I'm never ever getting into this. No
Mm.
way. I'm not a good writer. I'm not a good marketer. I was put down in a lot of my work when I did it in that company. I said, not happening. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to. And I just let that topic go out of my life.
Okay.
Until this was, so when I gave my resignation was on March 19th,
Mm-hmm.
and on March 21st, if you all remember, we had the first lockdown of COVID, 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So on 19, when I gave my resignation, I said, I'll work for you for another month. But probably the company, because they are on such a high level, they probably knew what was coming. So they said, it's okay. This is your last month. You don't need to serve your 1 month.
Oh.
And I was very happy. I said, great. I don't have to serve 1 month. Until the next day, when I was still fine. And then the third 3-day lockdown came. And I was like, what have I done? At least I would have been at home getting some money, if nothing,
Yeah.
And I realized.
So maybe they knew there was a
They
lockdown?
knew. That's what I feel. They definitely knew.
Wow, they're like,
Yeah.
let's roll her
Like,
under the bus.
like, let her go now, only. It's fine, Like, and I was like, damn.
Okay, I have to share a personal
Yeah.
story, okay? So I had a staff before the pandemic, okay? And we had this client, Mad Stuff with Rob. We were editing for him. So she was working with me for like 1 year. So it was going really well. But suddenly, on her own accord, like in Feb, she put in her resignation. I was like, oh crap, I have to do this on my own. And in March, lockdown happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe it happened for a good reason. I had no idea there was a lockdown.
Yeah.
Because now I don't have to pay a salary.
Correct.
And I can do this. I can sit at
Yeah.
home and do this work
Right.
myself. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, but you got lucky. I mean, I think a lot of people got lucky during that time also.
Lucky and unlucky. I think
Yeah.
people had different stories. But
Right.
let's go ahead with you.
So, yeah, so then due to some misunderstandings at my home, and I just couldn't understand living with old parents, and we had a very bad.
they had like come back
Yeah,
down.
so they came back in 2018. When I was done with my college, even they came down.
Okay, so
and
they retired from Kuwait.
They retired, yeah. So the whole family was here, my sibling. I have one sister, so she
Okay,
was here.
she's older, younger.
Younger,
Right?
4 years younger. So I just couldn't. We had a lot of fights happening for, maybe it was a generation gap. Like, I'll give it to them. They couldn't understand what I wanted. I couldn't understand what they wanted.
Yeah, they're like, man, we put you through engineering.
Yeah.
Why aren't you
Exactly. A
engineering?
lot of things, and the fact that, we are on our phones every time. Like, my job involves being on a phone.
Oh, yeah.
And, when there are events as a social media marketer, you want to go and cover that to
Correct.
create,
Yeah.
publicity. But why are you going out late at night and stuff like that? It was affecting our
Wait,
relationship.
so after you quit that job,
Yeah.
what happened then?
1 month, I was just at
Yeah.
home. Nothing. I was just practicing my dance until a very big fight broke out. A very bad fight between me and my parents. And it was a topic that was being stretched for a long time. And the
Okay.
topic came up again, resurfaced after a year, where an accusation was made against me. And, you expect your parents to support you the most when a false accusation is made.
Yep.
But that didn't happen. And in anger, I stormed out. I just stormed. And this was my third attempt, okay, of storming out. So I just
You're a
stormed out.
stormtrooper professional.
At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I just stormed out. My father took the keys away because he knew, like, oh, this is her regular thing. So I just walked out. Walked out with nothing, just my phone. And called a friend up. I said, I'm walking to your house. And I stayed in Akkoy and she's in Dulair. So,
Oh, okay, quite close to where my wife's family.
Yeah, correct. So I told her, I'm coming walking to your place. She's like, why, what happened? I said, we fought and I'm coming walking. He said, I'll come and pick you up. So she came and picked me up halfway. Didn't speak to me. And when I left, I didn't think I wasn't going back. Like, I just left the house in a bad fight, maybe a
and you
young
thought you'd
teen.
just go back.
Yeah, I just left. And after 2 hours of sitting at her place and contemplating everything that happened, I decided this is not the life I want to live and I'm made for something great. I knew it. I just, always I just knew it that something big is written in my path, And when that fight broke out, I was like, if the two people that I wanted the most support from couldn't give it to me, how can I expect it from anyone other than myself? So I said, I have to stand up today. And I decided after 2 hours that I am not going back. And I told my friend, I'm not going back. Can I crash at your place for a while? And she said, okay. I said, okay. So I called my sister up. I said, see, this was our last goodbye. I didn't realize it. If you can pack a bag and keep for me, like one nightie, one this, one that. And it was COVID. So we were not going out anywhere. I didn't need any fancy clothes. I said, it'll be great. So she kept that bag ready. And later on that night, I just went in. The doors were open because my parents were expecting me back. And when I came in, also my dad did not think that she was going to walk out again. So he saw me. We had a big Portuguese house and he was at some other end. And he saw me entering the house and he didn't bother. He said, okay, she's come back. And I actually went to just pick up that bag. So I just picked up the bag and I walked out. And that's when they were like, where is she going out again? But it was too late. So by the time they came, I just already left. And I honestly didn't think that I would never come back. So I just left and I just knew that I was meant for something greater. And I just left and I crashed at this girl's place for a month. And I didn't have a job, like I said. Now, no job, no bike, no money, because obviously I just had 20 grand with me. And I was like, in which half the month when just, I was obviously paying her for the stuff that I was using, groceries or whatever. And then a friend of mine, my business partner today, so he told me, it's like, so my sister has a restaurant. Do you want to just do something? I said, yeah, I could just make some noodles or make some egg chops and sell, just to make some money. And he said, yeah, okay, cool. Because he's also into creative profession. He's a photographer and he wasn't getting, so Shripad didn't have work either. He said, let's just do something. So I said, okay, cool. And at least I get to be out of, because I was just stuck in now my friend's house who had a good job and she was working and I was bored. He said, come. And we were making egg chops and I even sold shawarmas without a shawarma machine.
Oh, yeah?
And it was a hit, yeah.
How do
without
you do
the
that?
tawa.
Without that like
Without
vertical
the
thing?
thing, yeah. I was just like marinating it and cutting pieces and doing it on the, on the tawa. And I sold that. So I was making a profit of 200 to 300 rupees a day, which is big.
Wait, hold on. So this is through the restaurant or on your own?
In that restaurant.
In that restaurant?
Yeah. So it was not mine. It was my friend's sister's.
Yeah.
So she said, y'all do what you want, because even she wasn't making much at that point. So she said, you pay for what you use. So whatever little gas and here and all ingredients I was buying. So I was making like 200-300 rupees in a day.
And it was
It was very big. COVID time, nowhere to go, right? We were all home and out. It was still the whole curfew was still on.
Yeah.
So, during the day I was making that money. It was
So that's
something.
what, 6,000 a month?
Yeah, it was very good for me. And we did that for quite a long time.
Seriously, that was good enough?
That was good enough. Because like I said, I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go, no expense, right? And I was just wearing the same like home clothes. You didn't have to show off, wear makeup, nothing. It was all good. And then one day I got this gig where we got a chance to teach dance to this lady. And on our way, we saw this, Shripad saw this friend of his who started a restaurant. And he told me, Marion, I'm going to say hi. I said, okay. It's a restaurant called Cafe in Asagaon.
Yeah, I know
You've
Cafe. Yeah.
heard of Cafe, right? So
Tony, right?
Tony,
Yeah.
correct. So Shripad went to meet Tony and he dropped me somewhere. And Tony asked him for a favor to click some pictures.
Right.
Because he was he was also supposed to start the restaurant on 22nd of March. And we all know what happened that time. So now we've met Tony. So I left my house in April.
Yep.
And in May, for 1 month, I've stayed outside. And end of May, now we've met Tony.
Yeah.
And he said, I want some pictures. And Shripad, without telling me, tells him, do you want a marketer?
Oh.
I have a good friend who's a very good marketer.
Yeah.
And Tony was like, yeah, see, it's COVID and we do need a marketer. If you know somebody, then great. So he comes to me that night and he's like, listen, I got a gig for us. We'll do the social media marketing for this brand. And I said, no, I'm not doing it, because I was just that dejected. I said, even if for the rest of my life I have to make egg chops, I will do it.
Oh, you were that put off by marketing.
I was just very badly put off. I said, no way. And he said, he just tried so hard. And I said, no, no, no. And then he told me he'll help me. So I said, okay, if you're going to help me, he said, do it for 1 month. I said, fine. We'll do it for 1 month.
Wait, who said he'll help you? Oh,
Shripad
Shripad
said he'll help me to do marketing for 1 month.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, fine. Let's just do it, because she said it's my friend and I want to help him out and all. I said, fine, you're going to do my photographs. That's what we need. Oh, and also I didn't have a laptop, okay? So I
You
just
didn't
had
have a laptop.
phone, a broken phone. A very,
broken
very
phone.
broken phone. Yeah. No laptop at that
Like
point.
mine. Where's my phone?
It was like very badly broken. So no phone. No proper equipment.
Yeah, yeah.
So we said, okay, let's just try it. And we started off, I met the client and then he was Lebanese food. I'm born and raised in Kuwait. So the food
So
really
you know
took
what
me
Lebanese
back.
food is
yeah,
like, yeah.
it took me back. The hummus and all was great.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. So I said, okay, for that love, I will help you. Again, not thinking that this is what I'm going to end up doing.
Right.
And 1 month later, there was this, so we were very close. Okay, so I'd stay in Para and this cafe was in Asagaon. So we very often would go to meet the client, talk to him, brainstorm, a lot of things.
Oh, so by that time you'd moved out of your friend's house.
So now I moved out of my friend's house and I was staying in this shop where my friend used to lock me at night, because it was a commercial property. No
Are you
residential.
serious?
Yeah. So I've lived like that also.
What? Was there a bed even?
No, I used to sleep on the floor.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
Oh my
there was a
gosh.
mattress and pillow given to me that I'd put it out. And
Punita, can you imagine that?
so yeah.
No, please. So she left her house, her parents' house, stayed at a friend's house for a month, and then left her friend's house and stayed in a commercial shop where her friend had to lock her from
From the
outside.
outside. Yeah. So whole night, they would leave late, 10 o'clock or something, and come early in the morning at 6, 7, so I could go and use the washroom outside. And there's no washroom
Whoa.
inside, because it's a commercial. Yeah. So I just go and sleep.
So
over
what?
there.
Please describe the room.
It was a parlor, so it was
Okay.
just 4 walls.
Yeah.
The parlor equipment, like the
Like the
bed
chairs and the mirrors.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is it. And I just
You are one gutsy female.
Yeah. So yeah, I just had to move out from my friend's place because I didn't feel right being
Right.
with her, So 1 month she didn't take rent from me.
Yeah.
So I just didn't feel it. We would share groceries and
Right.
stuff, but that was falling expensive for me at that point because she was working and I wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I said I'm gonna move out. So we
her standards were higher.
yeah,
than yours,
correct. So, and we would split everything halfway, even though I was very easy to live with, but we would split it half. So it was falling a little expensive. So I said, time to move out. And
Yeah.
that was the only place I had. And I'm thankful that this friend gave me the
Yeah.
same the restaurant person. She had a parlor opposite. So I'd stay over there.
Just a
So,
second. Huh?
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you looking on that camera or this one? I think you should look here. Yeah, because what happens is, when I am talking, I think if you look there, then you'll be more looking at us. So if you look there, then you'll know when to pan the camera. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So I was staying there at this friend's place and now her parlor. And we would often go to this cafe, okay? And every time he would tell us, okay, today the sales were low, today the sales were high, can you do something, can you not do something? And we had one brand, so we gave all our heart and soul into it. End of the month, I was texting Tony.
Wait, am I allowed to ask how much
Yeah.
did you charge in that first month?
So, because we were both new,
Yeah.
we charged him 7,
Okay.
where me and Sri split it, so it was
So
3.5,
photography
3.5.
plus social media.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 7 with 3.5. We
So-
split it.
So which sites were you handling?
Only Instagram and Facebook and
Okay.
Google My Business, just these
Okay.
3. Yeah. And after a month, the same month, okay, somewhere towards the end of the month, I and Shri were messaging Tony because we would chat every day. And Day one, he doesn't respond to us. End of the night, he was like, guys, something. He responded. We would take approval from posts, right? And social media, you take approval from the post.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond. Only late at night, he responded, yes, good to go. So today's post was postponed now, first of all, for tomorrow.
Right.
So the next day, we do the same. We message him again, and there's no response for quite a long time. From morning, 7 o'clock, when I'd get up and start working and everything. It's now 4 or 5 o'clock, and there is no response from Tony. So since we're so near, Shri and me said, let's just go and see, check out like what happened. Is he pissed at us? Did we do something wrong? Is he unhappy? So when we go there, the parking is right in front, okay? And the whole restaurant is open. So we park the bike and it's full of people.
Wow.
It's full. And
wait, this is during the lockdown?
It was in June.
But the same
in
year,
2020.
right?
Yeah.
So
2020 June.
restaurants were open?
By then they were opened, yeah. 50% capacity. That time that rule had come off. Yeah.
Cool.
But it was full. And me and Shri are very happy now. It's our restaurant and, it's full. And we go inside and we say hi to Tony and like, Tony, hey, what's up? Where are you? Like, you didn't respond to our message. And he shows me his phone where he's walked some 13 kilometers.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm thinking in my head, so what, 13 kilometers? Like I said, I trek over the weekend.
Right.
So 13 kilometers, not a big deal for me. I was like, what are you showing me 13 kilometers? He's like, Marion, I walked from the kitchen to the front 13 kilometers from morning. Because he didn't know this would happen.
He's
right?
quite a fit guy, by the way.
He just had one barista, he had one baker and one cook and him.
Yeah.
So he didn't know that suddenly this influx of people would just come in and he had to also be one of the waiters. So he's walking in and out and he's showing me 13 kilometers. Again, it didn't affect me so much until Shri made me realize, he's like, Marion, did you post an ad yesterday? And I said, yeah. So he said, do you think it's because of them? Because of the ad?
Yeah.
I said, don't want to think too much. Let's just wait.
Yeah.
Waited for 2 days for the ad to die out. Asked Tony, how's the scene? So it's gone a little slow. Said, okay, time for me to check now. Did another ad and asked him the next day, like, you wait for 24 hours, it's full again. And that's how I got my power back. Like, that's how I knew social media is my thing.
Nice.
And I am going to do social media. And I was so happy that it happened. And there was even a time, there was this pink burger. Like, if you scroll to those days, you'll find it. Without us doing an ad, the next day, 14 of those burgers were sold. One post on social media and the next day 14 of those pink burgers sold in the cafe. So,
Wow, is it a real pink burger?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a beetroot
like the
burger.
bun and
Yeah, it's pink.
Wait, so the bun is not pink?
The bun is pink.
The bun is pink
Yes.
and the patty is pink?
Yes, it's a beetroot burger.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how like we knew like, and I gained my
Punita's
confidence.
like checking.
Yeah. You go scroll right down like 2020 Kefi Goa. KEFI.
All right. So
Yeah, so that's how I got my confidence in like, okay, I'm good. It wasn't
I'm
me
good
that
at
was.
this.
I'm
Yeah.
damn good at this. Yeah,
Damn
it wasn't
good at
even
this.
good. It was like I'm damn good
Wow.
at this, and that's how my journey started. So from that one client, we got referrals to more clients, and like I said, no phone. Shri had a MacBook, so I used it on that, and he would get these shoots. Okay, so during the day he would have to take his laptop and go. So I've written blogs on my phone, guys. On my broken phone, I've written
Wow.
blogs. I've written 500 words blogs on my phone.
amazing.
So, I mean, that's my story about how I realized that I was good at what I did and
Yeah.
I loved what I did. And I think that's what made me so, that's what made my work so good. And we've even got comments from clients, from customers who said, oh, you're handling the marketing. We thought Tony himself was doing it because the way everything is written, it makes, like, it's the same words that Tony told us.
Really?
That's the
So how do you think that happened?
because that's how much time I've spent with Tony to understand a brand. I made that brand my own. It's
Yeah.
not it wasn't his brand. At the end of it, till today, it's even my brand because we were all together when we
Right.
started. I've been with him from day one. We've been
Wow.
with him from day one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So that was a really amazing story. Wait, so you left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from
Yeah,
there. Let's
correct.
move on from
Yeah.
from that point. Then what happened?
From that point, clients started coming one after another. I started making money, that I could get into an apartment. So then we rented another apartment. It was a small, again, not
And were
a,
you only taking restaurants?
I was only taking restaurants.
Oh, so you decided
No.
only restaurants?
Sorry. So I did take this yoga client.
Okay.
Very
Yoga.
Yoga.
Okay.
She was this yoga she would teach yoga, and she was very well known. She was from UK and she was based in Goa. Our first meeting, we really hit it off. And now I'm new to this business, right? This was my second client. And I promised her, she needed a lot of things. And so I promised her, like I said, my first client, I charged him a very small rate because I was new to this.
Right.
So even her, I charged her very small, giving her like 4 blogs in a month and 4 newsletters, handling her social media, doing this. And I over-promised and very much like under-delivered. When it came to it, I was like, I cannot do this. So that was a mistake that it happened. And then after 2 months, we both called it quits on a mutual understanding that it's better we don't take this forward. And I realized I couldn't do it anymore. It was not about the money, and just I couldn't do it. And
was it taking too much of your time?
It was taking a lot of my time. It was something new for me to learn about yoga and the poses and the asanas and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that was when I realized, like, okay, maybe yoga is not for me. And the second brand that came on board was also a restaurant, which again did really well. So they shut down now, but back then it did really well. So that's when Shri and me decided that we are very good in the food and beverage sector. And besides that, because I'm a dancer and I understand dance, we take some few small service based brands, like somebody who has a studio, like just to, because it's a service, because
what
now
kind of studio?
For exercise, for your Pilates, for aerial yoga, dance sessions, all those different type of that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because again, I'm a service. When I do dance, I'm offering a service, right? So I understand that also. So that's why I take these kind of.
What I'm getting from you is that understanding the client's needs is really
very important. Yeah. We go there personally. In the start, we do like how many ever meetings we have to do. And we also, like, one mistake or one flaw that I realized in the company that I was working for, and I think most other companies do it, it's not wrong, but I felt it was a big flaw, that there was no connection between the marketer, which is me, and the brand. So when I was working for this company, they would tell me XYZ is your brands you have to handle. I never visited the property. I never tried out the food. I never spoke to the owner to understand what is his vision or why does he want to market the place.
Yeah.
And then when it came to photography, they would do one photography once a year. And that same pictures would be used for the whole year.
Oh, once a year?
Yeah, because it's a big, it's a big cost. So what we did was we included photography in our packages.
Oh.
So every month we do photography.
There'll be fresh content.
Yes, so there's fresh content. Plus we are speaking to the staff. What are the flaws that they're facing? What are the
really?
items?
You'd even speak to the staff?
Yeah, the staff are so friendly to us. Like actually just the other day, like I went to one of the restaurants and I was so busy in my phone that I didn't say hi to one of these waiters. And at the end of the night, he comes to me, he's like, ma'am, are you angry with me? In Hindi, naraz ho kya? I said, no, why, what happened? He's like, aaj hi nahi bola. So we have that connection with them, and then they tell us, okay, this drink is being sold more. This one is a new drink. We want to sell it, but it's not being sold. So that's what happens with the photography every month. We learn more about them and we can market it from their point of view more than our point of view.
I'm quite surprised that you'd grow so close to the staff and stuff.
Yeah, we build a very strong connection with them. Actually, we don't allow them to call us ma'am and sir unless my name is a little difficult. So then they call me ma'am. But
What do they call you, Marion?
Yeah.
I mean, Marion is what your name is, but then what do they call you?
They find it a little difficult.
What are the funniest names they've called you?
Oh my God, my name has so many. Marion, Marriott, Marion.
Marriott?
Yeah, like Marriott, like,
Yeah.
that. So I just tell them it's so simple. It's like Marriott, but take out the T and put an N.
Yeah.
That's it. It's Marion. They find it very difficult.
So they call you ma'am?
Yeah, they call me ma'am.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're humans at the end of it. They're also working for somebody else. So, it feels nice when they come, we talk to them, how's life. They feel so happy, They tell us stories of how long they've been with the restaurant. What have they seen that we've not seen? Some of them are like before we, joined as marketers. So that is a connection that we build, and we even try to promote them because at the end of the day, people want to see a connection,
So then by client number 3, you had realized I'm only going to do restaurants and few service. That's you're really quick, I have to say.
Yeah. There was that one bad client and the yoga one, which was
bad
my
experience,
bad experience,
Yeah.
not a client. She was really nice.
Yeah.
it was, yeah. So after that, we decided we are good at this, so we just continue doing this.
Wow.
And we started getting referrals. So till now, I am not there on social media, funnily. Like, I market other people, but myself, like, my company is not on social media.
So wait, what is your company? Have you
Yeah,
decided?
it's finally decided. It's Pink and Gold. I'm happy
Pink and
that you
Gold.
followed the brief.
Yeah, so this, I never knew you would wear pink. So I had a meeting this morning and I was wearing a different shirt for that. And I was wondering, like, what do I wear? So I went to my cupboard and I saw this one. And just at the meeting, I said, I want this podcast to inspire young people to be a creator. And I also want to, promote female entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't I wear a pink shirt today?
Yeah.
Because we have a lady
Yeah.
with us. And why don't I, wear a pink shirt to say, go ladies,
Yes.
do something.
Yeah.
So it's so nice that we're matching.
Yeah.
And by the
that's-
way, I have to make a disclaimer. I haven't been watering my plants. And my staff also don't care. They're like, so look at my sad plants. Please forgive me. I will be nice to you. Please grow. Anyway, let's go on.
So, I mean, yeah, so now the company's name is called Pink and Gold. It is in registration process. So,
Ooh, like
yeah,
proper.
Properly, yeah, we're
Like
registering.
what are you
the
going to
old-
be? Is it a firm? Is it a private limited? Is it a LLC, LLP? I don't know.
LLP.
Oh yeah?
LLP, yeah. We're going
So
for
then
that.
on Instagram you are pink something.
360 degrees pink.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So
that's your personal?
That's my personal, yeah.
Okay. So you're going to make a separate account for your
Correct.
company.
Yes.
It's going to start from zero.
Yes.
Okay. All the best.
Yeah, thanks.
It's
I'm
a,
very-
it's a task, no?
but it's fun. I love new
yeah, I mean, this
from
is what you
zeros
do.
and yeah.
Yeah. So
When you're taking over somebody, then you have to understand the previous marketer's mindset and try to follow that. When you're
we started Sevarat from zero, right? Sevarat India. So we started, one of our
Nice.
clients also, we
Yeah.
started from zero, and it's quite nice. It's a new challenge, and it feels good to say, okay, after 3-4
Yeah.
months that you're reached here.
yeah,
I think as marketers, our responsibility is not just to create really beautiful content,
yeah.
but we have to make sure we get followers.
Everything, correct.
Right? I think Sevarat is like nearly 800.
That's
So,
nice.
like, tell me what, in your opinion, what does a good marketer do? In terms of metrics,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
So when I give my pitches, there are 3 things that I look at. One is reach, engagement, and follower count. So
Okay.
I try my best to get these 3 in the green numbers at all times.
Green numbers.
Green, like when you
Like
check your
every month?
insight every month.
Yeah, but
Insight-
every month.
Every month.
That's
And
sometimes
how
a challenge, isn't it?
we do it every week, in fact. Like the
Really?
internal bit, the client gets 1, which is at the end of the month. But
Yeah.
internally, for me to check every Monday,
So
I
that
get
means
a
it's a
report.
continuous improvement.
Yes.
Ooh.
So, I mean, and there are times it will be red, but that's why I'm doing it every week, so that by the end of the week, it should come back green. Or by the next Monday, it should come back
Something
green.
we could learn from.
Yeah, that. Just focus on these 3 things. But yeah, followers are important to increase.
Yeah.
Like even when we started.
I was like quite outraged. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you're making great designs, right?
Yeah.
But why is your follower count still 400? And it's
Yeah.
like a big company.
Right.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Exactly.
you're saying you're so busy to call me back. I mean,
Yeah.
your client's not doing well. How
Exactly.
busy could you be,
Yeah.
So that was very weird. All right. So, yeah, let's carry on with your journey, because you know what inspired me is that you left your job,
Yeah.
you left your house, right? You hardly had any money.
Yeah.
You didn't know what to do. You did not go and search for another job. You
Yeah.
said, why don't I try something on my
Right.
own?
Yeah.
I have this skill.
Yeah.
And then the way you told it to me, you now have taken up an entire floor of a building.
Yeah.
One side is your office.
Yeah.
One side you live.
Right.
I was like, and you said at that time you had 7 staff or something. I don't know how.
Yeah,
At that
so,
time. So
yeah.
please tell us like what's happening right now.
So right now we are a
Tell
team
us all the
of,
good things.
Yeah. So right now we are a team of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are still 7.
Wow.
But we have more now. We do SEO. First we were just doing content creation in terms of videos, written material as well as pictures. Now we do SEO. We just got starting this month. We have an SEO person. We have a proper, guy who's going to only do reels for us. Because first it was just my SMEs only doing reels, like picture reels or whatever it is. But now there's going to be one dedicated person just doing those kind of reels for us. So it's great. Like now everybody has their own task. There's one person just doing stories, one person just creating, one person just sharing it out there. So
I
everyone
was so inspired by that. Like, how do you, like, you have to pay 7 salaries.
Yeah.
You have to pay rent for your office. Plus your
internet, and there's so many things.
I was amazed.
Yeah.
I'm really inspired. Even right now. It's amazing.
Thanks.
So, tell us, like,
No,
how the heck
that's
did you reach such a
I think
point?
it's just, that belief, that I always knew I would do something big. And even today, I know something bigger is coming my way. I'm just preparing myself for it. And I've always been a solo person, I always felt alone in a crowd. And I was like that kind of very Dukhi Atma girl.
Dukhi Atma,
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
going to
that.
say it. Like today, it's different. I was not raised in a very positive environment. So I surrounded myself in negativity all the time. But today,
Would you say you were an introvert?
I was not. And back then I was an introvert, but I wanted to be an extrovert. Like I'm very good with people. I don't feel scared.
Yeah.
I love talking to people. I love listening to journeys. I love listening to how they started new things. But I was always pushed at the back. Like, no, why do you need to have friends? Why do you need to go out? You're going to school to study. Don't need to have friends. Why do you need a phone? That kind of thing. So I think that all developed me to one day, like I was just in that cocoon, just waiting to burst. And today, like I can say, my wings are out.
Yep.
And I'm meeting new people. I'm sharing my stories, inspiring them. They are telling me stories that are inspiring me. There's so many things. And I know that there have been days that I've literally cried in front of the mirror, looked at myself crying because I knew nobody else was going to wipe them. I was just thinking about it yesterday. And I've looked at myself.
You
I've
actually
cried.
thought about this yesterday?
Yeah, because I did a video yesterday. If you get the time, just see the mentor one.
Oh, I didn't
I
see
had to
that.
make so I'm participating in this. It's all around the world for only Indians. So from 250,000 people, the top 1,000, I'm one of the top 1,000. And now it's going to come down to 250. So the first round was to give a gratitude speech to your mentor. And I started thinking like who really was my mentor. And I said that for most part, it was just me. Like there have been days I've looked in the mirror crying and lifted myself up. I've given pep talks to myself. It's not a joke. I've actually given pep talks to myself.
This
in
I
the
need
mirror.
to start doing more myself, because I've heard many successful people, they speak to themselves.
And it works. I've been in the washroom people outside thinking, why is she taking a long shower? And actually I'm talking to myself in the mirror, weeping my eyes out. But when I was out, that was it. And so that's all made me the person that I am today. Today, I can be, when I have a bad day, I know that if I'm crying, it's an emotion. So I cannot stop myself from crying. But I know that once I stop crying, it's the end. I know that much.
You know who taught me this first? My brother, Joel.
Okay.
So, I was a very, very scared guy. I had very few friends, horribly socially awkward, huge, self-image problems, confidence problems. And Joel and I, very sadly, most of our lives we've been at odds with each other, But there was this time in between where we had to fend for ourselves because our parents were abroad. We were living in Bombay alone. And he said, Ryan, try this. Just look at the mirror and say, you are smart. People like you. You look good. People are attracted to you. You are confident. Smile. See how you look. And I started, I didn't do it a lot, but I do believe there's huge power in talking to yourself.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And I really like the fact that you said you are your own mentor.
Yeah. And that's the video I created yesterday. It was just me. It was me who learned from my past learnings. And this was when I said the video, if you see the meaning, it's a experience.
It's already published?
Yes.
Cool.
So it's an experience.
This is on 360 degrees pink.
Yeah. So it's an experienced and trusted advisor. That's the meaning of a mentor. And if you think about it, there's only my experience who will match mine 100%. And it is only me that I will trust 100%. There's nobody else who can match that 100% mark. And that's why I said, like, I have always been my own mentor. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to, taking mentorship from people. But I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the money that time. I didn't have the power of the internet, back then. We just had dial-up in Kuwait. And even when I was in college, we just had 1 GB.
Just like I want to break the
Yeah.
flow. Why do you guys say Kuwait
Why?
and not Kuwait?
I don't know.
You'll end
Am
with
I
a
the
th.
only one?
No, I've heard
There are
many people
many?
say Kuwait. I think the
that's how-
Kuwaitis say that. Kuwait.
Maybe.
Kuwait.
Maybe.
It's not Kuwait.
Yeah.
Like in English, you'd say Kuwait. But I guess
Yeah,
the
correct.
locals
I
say
think
Kuwait.
it's that. Yeah.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
So it's them. So like Kuwait.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So y'all had. Wait, why were we talking about dial-up?
I was telling you, I didn't have like I said, I'm my own mentor, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm not open to mentorship. It's just that
Right.
I didn't have that resources back then. Today
Uh-huh.
we can just go anywhere online and we can search for these
You're talking
things.
about like even back in school.
Yeah, back in school, I didn't have the power of the internet that time. We had dial-up, which was some 15 hours in a month. My parents would use that to call our family back over here in Goa. So, and even television was just cable. So nothing, not the channels like we have today. So nothing informational. So it was just me who had to fend for myself, me who had to pick myself up for the most bit, whether it was in college. Like I said, I had a bad time with my landlady,
Yeah.
and she gave me a very tough time. And mostly because I didn't
Can
have
you
the...
say like what tough time? I mean, what do you mean?
So we were 12 girls in the
Okay.
hostel, and you're in college. You
Right.
do stupid mistakes, you do
Yeah.
dumb things, and
And you're in college.
you're in college.
So
Yeah,
that's the
just- that is-
there's a
that-
blanket
yes.
statement. Have fun.
Yes. So if I was caught doing something, it wasn't me. It was the 11 other girls caught with
Right.
me. Now the difference was when this landlady would call the other 11 girls' parents, their parents would be like, okay, just it's fine, I'll talk to her, don't worry, and stuff like that, because they also know. But my parents would overreact to a whole new level. Oh my God, yell at her, shout at her, we will talk to her. And then, first of all, that lady would be giving me shit, and then my parents would be giving me double. And there have also been times when she was wrong, like she just assumed things, and I have proof for it. But my parents would be like, why should we listen to you? Why is she lying? It was never like, you're lying. Why did she say like this? That means she's not lying. So, and when she got to know that, oh, there is drama coming from this person, there was a time when she stopped contacting the remaining 11 girls, and the calls would only be made to my parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I found your daughter here. I found your daughter.
Oh
Your
my
daughter
God.
was talking
I think
on
she
the
got
phone.
the maximum level of satisfaction from your
Yes,
from
exactly.
your parents.
And yeah, so she just made it really hell for me, and I hope one day I can have a talk to her, and just I want to get it off my chest, and so she also
Well, maybe
knows.
let's send this video to her. Hey, lady, Marion has something to say to you. Like honestly,
yeah.
what would you say to her?
I just want to say, like, those 4 years were living hell. Like, I don't know, maybe you went through something and that's why you made me go through it. It was like maybe a cycle of life, but it has affected me a lot. Even till today, that your name comes up and it makes me scared. It makes me very bad about myself for what things you've said about me to people and my parents. And the fact that I didn't get the support that I needed really took me down badly. So yeah, I do not know what was the problem. If there was, you actually were going through something, and I wish you would speak about it openly. But it really made I went through a very bad emotional torture at that time, really bad one.
So what
Yeah.
would you advise her how she should now conduct herself?
I think just don't keep hostilites if you cannot handle them, to be very honest. I've heard people after, and it's the same. The food was pathetic, and if we would talk about the food, then she would again yell at us that others are not complaining, stuff like that. So, I mean, there are issues that she needs to talk. Maybe she's lonely, and that's her only
Very likely.
source. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad for her, but it really affected me, and I'm lucky that I picked myself up and I've become this person today, but I could have gone the exact opposite also.
Yeah.
With everything happening, I could have just taken the direct opposite route, and I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Done everything
Like
wrong.
that's one thought that definitely
Yeah.
struck me.
Yeah, it always
It's
comes to my
bullying.
head. Yeah.
It's bullying, it's victimization, it's intimidation. What else? I mean, what are the other words? I mean, you were a bully. You put a child down. You were an authority figure, and you imposed your authority very cruelly on someone who was depending on you. You know, I mean, don't do that, lady. Okay, so so you went through this. Now your brand is growing. You're making an LLP. Congratulations on that. You're thinking of moving to Panjim.
Yes.
That's really. I've always wanted to kind of live in Panjim. It reminds me of Bombay. I'm from Bombay, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I've been all over the place, but Bombay, and I like the vibe over there. But so since we are into video production and we are content creators, I wanted to ask you. Shripad is a photographer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, to what level has your success been attributed to the power of the media, to power photo, video?
I would say like a good 60 to 80.
Wow.
%. Yes. It is that, because I can write the most appealing copy in this world.
Right.
But they are not going to stop and read that if that picture is a blank photo. It's something not appealing, right? Because if you're talking about Instagram, the first thing that you see, or the part that takes majority of your screen, is the photograph, or is the reel, or is the video. If that is good, it's gonna excite them, and then say, okay, I want to read. What is this about? What is this video? What is this that they're showing? So that is where we did work a lot. Shripad was not a social media or a food photographer. He was always a destination wedding photographer. But circumstances helped us both grow beautifully in like two different streams. Like I remember even him telling like, Marion, I don't know how to do food photography. I said, you said you wanted me to do social media. Now you have to give me that content, because who is going to create it? I have a broken phone. I can't do it. And I'm not good at photographs also. Like I'm the person in front of the camera, not behind. So I said, you got to do it for me. And when I still remember that first shot, and it's also the first shot on Kessie.
Oh, yeah?
The very first shot. It's a cruffin picture.
It's a what?
And cruffin.
Cruffin?
It's a cross between a muffin and a croissant.
Oh, cruffin. Never heard of that.
So that's the first picture. And I remember when we did the first shoot, we stayed up till 1:30 that night creating the feed look. So he sat, found the best pictures, and you're, as a photographer, you don't click one picture, you're clicking like 10, 20 of one, different angles and different lightings and different settings. So we took out the 12 best pictures, edited them as per one, look, and we created that till 1:30 at night. So we went for a shoot in the morning at 9 till 1:30. The final product was ready at 1:30, and we looked at it. It was like, this is our creation. We couldn't believe it.
The first time he's shooting food.
Yeah. Wow. It was the first time, and even he's like, till today he loves that picture. He's
really?
Like, yeah, till today. You look at that picture, like just go back whenever you get the time. The first picture of Kessie.
Nice.
It's still there.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And now, so he stopped doing weddings completely?
He does it occasionally when he gets the chance to, because we do our social media during the day. So the weddings are mostly at night.
Yeah.
So, but mostly, this is the regular one for him. You know how the wedding season is. So that's only seasonal. But social media is going to stick.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
Lately I'm really considering this. So many people get into weddings, but to really be somebody, I feel at least, I'm still testing this. I'm not sure. You have to be someone who does more than just weddings.
Yeah.
I think so at least.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I stopped doing weddings, I told my clients, I'm not doing weddings anymore. I'm doing this particular thing. I'm creating content for entrepreneurs and doing face to cameras and, helping them grow. One artist, she actually told me, now that you're doing this, you're even more professional. You're even better.
Yeah.
Because weddings, everyone can do.
Correct.
Not everyone can do. I mean.
But
it's the barrier to entry is so low.
Yeah.
But now that you're doing this, you are at an even higher position.
Yeah.
I'm still considering it. But that's really nice that he's like moved away from weddings and he's now a food photographer. I mean, that's a big thing.
And that's the biggest
You don't
learning.
get a lot of food photographers, great food photographers.
And that's our biggest takeaway from this whole journey of ours is that to niche down. It's no
Niche
use.
down. That's one word I
Yeah.
keep on getting when you
You
speak.
niche down. You can do many things, but you niche down in the field. Don't say you're a photographer and don't say you're a social media marketer. In fact, I and Shripad were having a conversation just yesterday that when I tell people I'm a social, I don't. First of all, I stopped saying I'm a digital marketer.
Oh, you did?
I say I'm a social media marketer, and then I niche it down further and I say I'm specifically in the food and beverage industry, and
Right.
I do here and there for professionals and in the service sector a little bit. Like some professionals also I've taken on board. So that is how you when you tell them, then it shows them like, okay, you know what you're doing. And the same thing for him. Like if he earlier used to say not a photographer, he was telling me yesterday, the topic came up because he was telling me, I don't know if I should call myself a photographer. I feel like every second person is a photographer now. So
yeah.
I said, don't call yourself a photographer. You niche it down and say what photographer you are, so people know, okay, he's for this. You know.
Yeah, because before he was just doing a lot of different things. You know?
Yeah,
I think
correct.
I hired him once for one yoga shoot or one instructional shoot.
Okay.
You know, where he was shooting on my camera. So I just told him I can't be there. Can you handle it? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah. But I'm really happy that maybe he's found his calling.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And you have found your calling. Because every time I meet you, I love the fact that you're like, even your answer to who are you, you knew.
Yeah.
You know, you're like so specific. I love
Yeah.
that. I feel even in many ways, I'm still finding my way. I'm still figuring out who are you. I still don't know the answer, you know.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you have niched down, and I think that is the way to success.
Yeah.
Is to not do everything, but do one thing really well.
Right.
Like there's one quote by, I don't know whether it's Bruce Lee. Maybe Abhishek knows this. I don't know. But he basically says is you should not be a man who knows 1,000 different kicks. You should be a man who knows one kick but has practiced it 1,000 times.
Yes. Correct.
You know?
I've heard that, yeah.
So it's something like that.
Yeah,
Like when
exactly.
you niche down and you figure out what you're really good at, what you love to do, and what
Yeah.
brings results, that's where you go.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so now it's time for the sponsored slot. We're going to take a short break for the sponsor. Restaurant owners, pay attention. If you are into the F&B space, then you know how important quality images are for your social media requirements. Having eye-watering images for your dishes will either make or break your restaurant business. We at Winfluence Media have tied up with India's leading image solutions company to bring you high-quality food photography solutions with flexible packages for all the restaurant owners in India. With a presence in more than 70 cities of India, if you want high-quality food photography, email us at videoproductiongoa@gmail.com or WhatsApp us on 7083-401-793 today to get to know your packages. Did you know that 70% of companies are investing in content marketing for their business today? So what are you waiting for? If you want your food to start flying off the shelves, then email us at videoproductiongoa@gmail.com today. Winfluence Media, media that wins. So now it's time for the Tandoor Round.
Okay.
It's a special round. It's a rapid question and answer
Oh,
round.
damn, okay.
Where the questions keep getting hotter and hotter.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, I forgot about the tea. The tea was supposed to be here.
Okay.
So there is no cooling for you. You're only going to go hotter and
Crank up the
hotter.
AC, please.
All right, your
Okay.
first question.
Okay.
All right, let me see what it is. Hold on. What's your favorite dish?
Butter chicken and cheese naan.
That also is very specific, huh?
Yeah.
All right. What's your preferred musical genre? Type of music?
Pop rock.
Pop rock, like
yeah, and
for
rock
example.
would be those classic like our Green Day and our Nickelback, those, and they all fall in a genre called pop rock. So I just play all of those.
So pop rock. Can you give me some more?
It's not like
examples?
heavy instrumental.
Yeah.
It's got words in it also.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
Nirvana? No.
you can say a little bit.
I mean,
like them,
Nirvana
little
became
bit
very
of them.
popular.
Yeah.
Like
No, but I'm just trying to
Metallica?
find. No, not Metallica.
Not Metallica at
No.
all.
I think Green Day. You can
Yeah,
say Green
Green
Day.
Day.
Yeah, they fall in
Yeah.
the pop rock genre. So
Coldplay.
Coldplay. Yes.
I think we are similar like
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
I even I kind of like pop rock, but I don't listen to it as much now. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like some Pink Floyd and
Yeah, some of them, yeah, same,
and
yeah.
like some Metallica.
Yeah, correct.
Eminem. Do you like Eminem?
Eminem, yes, I
Oh,
started off like
I
with
love
all
Eminem.
Nickelback, Eminem were all like together. And I
That's
started.
so cool. All right, next question. Which business book would you recommend to people?
Oh, this is a tough one because I don't read much. But one book that I don't know, Michelle Obama's is not a business book. So no, I don't read much. So I'm
Okay,
not gonna-
okay. So then, what business advice would you give?
Try everything, but do not overpromise and underdeliver. Try everything and let it be known that you're trying this out. It's
Right.
no harm because in that trial, you might figure out that that's what you're really good at. So definitely try it and yeah, but just do not overpromise and underdeliver. Do not do that at all.
That's lovely. All right. So, which self-development book would you recommend?
Again, no books.
Nah, okay. So,
No books.
no books. But what would you say to young people who want to develop themselves, their maybe their personality or their mindset, or just develop themselves to be better people in society, productive people in society? Like you were at a point
Yeah.
very scared and like suppressed in a way.
Yeah.
Or so, what advice would you give to develop yourself?
Do an activity that gets you meeting more people. For me, the first activity that I did was dance. That was the first one because even that earlier company that I worked for had only two people, which I was one.
I beg your pardon?
The first company that I worked for, there were only two people, a web developer and me, a content writer,
Oh,
where I was doing business development.
okay.
So I used to do only just that. So do one activity that allows you to meet some more people.
Yeah.
You do not know who from those, even if you're meeting 5 new people, you don't know who from that 5 will help you. And that was my story exactly. I did a dance class. I didn't need to do it, but I just did it to to do something different.
That's brilliant.
You know,
advice,
and
yeah.
where I met Andre. So that's where I met. And he's the one who told me about the quote, the idea
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
Apple one. So yeah. So just meet. Like you don't know what can click from there. So do an activity. People think that, oh, but that 3,000 rupees a month, whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. If you like, you want music, you want dance, you want physical activity, but do an extra activity, and you do not know what will click for you there.
That's beautiful. It actually reminds me of my sister because when she first came to Goa, I offered her a job, and it was just me and her working from home, like over
Yeah.
here, and half the time I was not there,
Yeah.
and she would be working alone. She'd come
Yeah.
10 to 6 or whatever, and then she said, I wanna, work somewhere else, and I kind of felt bad. She's my sister's leaving
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
but then she said, I want to work with more people.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that she did because that's when she did the digital marketing
Correct.
course. And today she's doing so well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that she took that step
Right.
of, going out and meeting more people. And it's so important sometimes
Very
to
important.
work with a bigger team.
Yeah, correct.
There's more dynamics. You're not
Right.
only bored and sitting in front of the laptop.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's great advice.
That's also the reason why I left the first job because even I got bored over there just doing one thing. Yeah. So find anything that will allow you to meet more people. You
Yeah.
can be going on a trek. Go one weekend on a trek. You meet people. You'll meet new people. Go solo if you have to. But do it.
Go solo, really?
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah,
it's safe as a girl?
Go solo with that group. Yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah.
group. Yeah.
That
That's
way.
for sure. All right. Now, who are the type of people you like to spend time with?
Somebody who can talk. I like
Could be
people who
anyone.
can talk. Yes. Talk about something smart, okay? Please do not hit on me and talk on that. But yeah, just talk. I like to share stuff, share journeys. We all have
Stories.
something to give and something to take. I believe in that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Okay, now it's getting hotter, okay? And name a time you were hurt by what someone said to you.
What? There's so many, but I mean, now as you grow, you learn not to take things to heart, right? But when I was young, like when I was in school, I don't know if you can still feel it. I think you can, the lisp.
Yeah.
I was bullied a lot for it. So they would, whenever I would talk anything to them, they would like do it back to me, like,
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And so that, it would always hurt me. And even I have a birthmark on my face. So they would say, oh, you got hit by a train. That's why your face is like this. Kids
I
can
never
be-
noticed you had a birthmark.
I know, but people did. But maybe because I put makeup now. So my makeup skills are getting better. But back then, Nate standard and all, I couldn't do that, right? In school,
Yeah.
who puts makeup? So those, yeah, that's the time.
So basically, comments about the way you speak.
Yeah,
way
about
you
that.
look.
But now I've just learned, like, I mean, do your own thing. People will say you do good, you do bad. People will talk about you. It's just no use, Only you know yourself the best. That's my biggest motto. If
That's
I had
beautiful.
to not listen to that, I would not even be a marketer.
Yeah.
If I had to listen to someone else.
During my school days, like 9th, 10th, no, I think 9th standard, there were this bunch of seniors. And 10th, because even though they graduated, I would meet them in the colony, and they used to call me this really mean word, okay? And I hated it.
Okay.
It was a play on my name,
Okay.
and I just hated it. I just hated it when they called it to me. No, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, even I'm
honest-
curious now.
Okay, I'll say it. Maybe I'll regret it, but I don't care. You call me that now, I don't care. They used to call me Randu.
Oh,
Can you believe that? It's not. It's just cruel.
yeah, exactly. It's totally cruel.
It's like
I was trying to rhyme words with Ryan. I'm thinking like, yeah.
so. Good job on their part for coming out with such a creative and
Yeah.
insulting name. But I hated it.
Speaking of names, people used to call me moron.
Moron.
So there's Marion and Moron. And there was this one date, like, we did this CD art in school.
Okay.
And I forgot to write my name. So while the CD was being passed back to me, somebody took and wrote. The teacher was like, who didn't write? And I was like, teacher, it's me. So she said, okay, pass it on to her. And she told me, write your name. So while it was being passed, this one guy wrote Moron on it. On the CD with a CD marker. So you can't erase that. And I
Yeah.
take it home and I show my parents. And my overprotective father goes the next day to school, goes to the principal, calls this boy out, and he gets blacklisted.
See, good. Your father loves you. Yeah.
Little too much.
Well, little. Yeah.
Yeah.
So lately I have been watching a talk about honoring your parents. Okay, I'll send it to you. It's so beautiful, and I believe more people need to listen to this, because many of us growing up, see, our parents are not perfect.
Yeah. No.
Right? And many of us develop some kind of maybe even hatred or
Yeah.
resentment or bitterness or whatever towards our parents. But he said one thing which really touched me. He's like, the same way as you cannot choose who your parents are, even your parents had no
Right.
choice in choosing you.
Right.
Like, they didn't say, okay, let's go to the shop. Oh, this baby looks nice. Look at her.
Yeah.
Look at her personality. Look at what she's good at, bad at. Look at how she's going to treat me in the future. They had no choice.
Correct.
But like today, I'm a parent, right?
yeah.
I do everything that I can for my wife does everything. We love our kids,
Yeah.
and obviously I'm going to make mistakes,
Right.
but it's not never my intention to harm them. Or so as parents, like I look at my parents and they are flawed, and I now I say to myself, they didn't have a choice in having me, because
Yeah.
I have also hurt them many times.
Exactly.
I have messed up. I have not probably been the best son or the best student or the most academic, or
Yeah.
and they did their best. They did their best, and probably they're still trying to do their best. So ever since that, I've become more loving towards my parents.
Yeah.
Even though they have flaws, I'm just gonna say, I have you. I have the privilege of having you in my life for just a few years.
Yeah.
Especially this entire pandemic,
Correct.
it taught us life is so fleeting.
yeah.
There's a really, really rich and powerful guy in Goa, and he just died.
I know.
You know who I'm
I think
talking about?
Prabhu Desai, right?
No, Peter Vaz.
Okay.
He owns tons of land, and it's so sad. Even though you're a billionaire, probably, money didn't save you.
Yeah.
So we are privileged to have our parents for a short time.
Yeah.
And I lost my grandmother recently about
correct.
2 months ago, and I miss her so much. But I say to myself, I was privileged to spend this time with her
Yeah.
while she was alive.
Right.
I could have been working in Saudi. I could have
Yeah.
been some other country, but I was with her.
Correct.
And And I kind of feel at peace because I think I spent as much time as I could have. Maybe I could have definitely spent more time with her.
Yeah.
But I was privileged to have her, like, and now I have to think that for my parents as well. Like,
Correct.
I will not have them forever. There'll be a point of time where they pass away, and then I don't want to live with regret saying that I was angry with my parents.
Yeah.
Like, just today in my BNI meeting, Rita Modi told me this. You know Rita?
Yeah.
So she's this amazing architect.
Yes.
And so when they had put her daughter in a boarding school, and in the boarding school, the child would be allowed only 5 minutes on Saturday and 5 minutes on Sunday to speak with their parents.
Oh no.
So Rita would spend 5 minutes on Saturday, and her husband would spend 5 minutes on Sunday. And on one particular day, her husband was speaking to her daughter, and her daughter was very angry with him. Without even utilizing the 5 minutes, she just put the phone down on him. And once you do that, you're not allowed to call back. I don't know why you'd have such a strict boarding school. I mean, it's crazy. But the next day, the father died.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. And, she carried that pain, and she's carried that mistake with her for so many years. And I can imagine how tough that is.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not just telling you, but I'm just telling all these guys out there, have some love and some, like, put yourself in your parents' shoes. They're not perfect. They know that.
Yeah.
Reach out to them today and just say, I love you. Thank you for doing whatever. Because as a parent, I know the sacrifices I am making towards my kids,
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy sacrificing.
Correct.
Anyway, I got a little emotional. So let's move on. Now it's going to get tougher, okay?
Oh, okay.
Who are the type of people you don't like being around?
Over this time when I've met people, I can really sense fake people. I really can. And, or even if I cannot, but you're telling me one thing and then you're going around and, behaving another. I just don't like that. And even if it is not about me, you're coming and you're talking bad about somebody else to me, tomorrow you can talk bad about me to somebody else. So I just do not like those kind of people. I don't like those two-faced people at all. You be one person. You don't like it, you don't like it. It's as simple. And that's how I am. I will tell you straight to your face if I don't like something in a nice way, but I will tell you. So I just cannot handle fake people.
Yeah. Punita and I had this. I think that was my answer, right? Fake people. Kind of, yes. Yeah. All right. So now the last question of the Tandoor round, the most difficult. What is something people don't like about you?
Don't like about me. I'm sure there'll be many things. I think
At least
it's
you're
my
realistic.
guts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be my guts. People don't like my guts. I know a lot, old and the young, who do not like my guts. Like, how can she do this? Whether it was when I started dance, whether it was now when I started business, I've got my seniors telling me, like, what do you even know to start a business? And that is also another mistake that I did. I waited too long. I waited to get experience to start my own business. That's not what you need. You can start anytime. As long as you're the biggest learner, you have to be the biggest learner of your profession.
That's deep.
And that's something I heard it from somebody very recently. Like, you have to be the biggest learner of your profession and you can master any profession. So you have to always be open to learning. And I'm always learning. I'm learning new things every day.
Same here. I mean, there's so much to learn. There's so much to absorb. There's so much to improve, It's like never ending.
Right.
But that's what makes life interesting.
Yeah.
That we will never know it all.
Yeah, exactly.
But that journey
to
get there is what makes... Like, I'll be honest. I just started... I quit my job in the oil field. I have never worked for a company for more than 2 years. And I kind of did some small social media work for my in-laws and some other people. And then I started Influence Media in 2018. Without knowing how to run anything. And man, I made a lot of mistakes. I lost a lot of money. But I'm learning. And am I at the place financially where I want to be right now? Definitely no. I have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to learn.
Right.
I'm not going to give up.
Right.
And one great compliment I got from my wife the other day. She said, you're a slow quitter. I was like, what's a slow quitter? She's like, no, actually, you're not a slow quitter. You don't quit. And I think in entrepreneurship or business or being a creative on your own, self-employed, you can't quit.
You can't.
Like, who knows whether this podcast
Yeah,
will succeed, right?
exactly.
Like, but I believe I'm providing value to society,
Right.
to young people.
Yeah.
Like, you're providing value
Yeah.
by being a guest.
Yeah.
And I think there's some golden nuggets that's been spoken here
Yeah.
that'll be recorded for history.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like my beautiful conversation with you is not lost. It's recorded. Hopefully Abhishek doesn't lose the audio.
Yeah. And hopefully you
Like
press the
last
record
time.
button.
But yeah, let's see. I mean, okay, I should ask you this. Okay, we are done with the Tandoor round.
Oh, great. Did I do well? There's no hamper
There's-
and all like coffee with Karan.
You know what? I should start that. I think like this is the second time somebody's asked me for that. So I need to figure out.
Yeah.
Hey, we are looking for sponsors for the hamper.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're done with it.
Yeah.
I had a question in my mind. How important do you feel is getting out of your comfort zone? Remember we were talking
Yeah.
about this person,
Yeah.
right? So I think you really put yourself in a very
Yeah.
uncomfortable place.
Yeah, I totally did. In fact, today morning today morning or yesterday night. It's so funny that how you happen to call me today, and there's so many things that I can share which happened in the last 2 days.
Yeah,
only.
please do.
So, I already told you, I've gotten 3 people suddenly who quit my team, right? Who were working for me and quit. And I got into a very comfortable zone because suddenly I had so many people working for me and I could take a backseat, just look at it from the top. Okay, this is being done right. This is not being done right. Do this, do that. And just for meetings. But today, I'm entering the month with 3 less people. There are new people joining, but they are new. So
Yeah,
again,
so
I
you
got
have
to
to train
train
them
them.
and
You know, all this while I
get
could
them
have
up to speed.
made them train. And I realized like I felt bad, but I felt good because I suddenly got into this uncomfortable zone again. And that really drives you. It's very important to put yourself out. Like I realized every time when I was living with my friend, I got comfortable, I moved out. I started staying in that property in the parlor. Got comfortable over there, took another small place. I got comfortable there and I moved out to now where I am, where I have the office and my house on the same floor. So I was thinking like, how is it going to get uncomfortable from here? Because I wasn't going to shift anytime soon.
Right.
It's a beautiful place, but I realized it like in this last 2 days. But it's a great feeling. It drives you like mad. And if you're like in that same mindset like I am, it'll just drive you in the right direction.
So discomfort will drive you in the right direction.
It will. You have to get out. You
Yeah.
get comfortable. Just get lazy. You're very happy. And I think, no offense to all the Goans, but that's the biggest problem with us Goans. I'm putting myself there too.
Yeah.
That we love this Susegard lifestyle, and when the moment we get comfortable, we're so happy. We're just like, okay, I'm making this much money. Why do I want to? I reach the stars. Why I want to reach the moon? I've realized that about so many Goans. I think that's where the flaw is.
No, but moon comes first, then stars.
Oh, sorry. Then we reach the moon. I didn't. No, I'm like the moon's bigger.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
No, stars are million, billion times bigger.
Yeah.
I'm just talking from a scientific point of view.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, scientists. Not me to offend anyone. Yeah. But I don't know if you've realized that too. I've noticed that this Goan lifestyle, this Susegard thing, is something that really annoys me sometimes. Like you can do so much better with your lives. If you're a dancer, you can be so much better of a dancer. Like why you want to be just known in Goa? You can be known outside, but they just want to stay here. I don't know why.
Yeah. So I was having this lovely conversation with this gentleman who runs this big furniture manufacturing. In fact, we got this table from there.
Oh.
Hey, can you wait? Let me see if I can plug it. So check out this.
Oh, cool.
So to be honest, I think I just bought this to show off. We hardly use it to stand up and. So anyway, so I was speaking with him. Amazing company. It's called Infinity Modules. So they do a lot of work for like schools and stuff. They don't do retail. They do like distribution and big stuff. So their orders are huge. So he's a Gujarati who's moved to Goa from Bombay. And he had this beautiful concept of Goans,
Yeah.
And he actually appreciates the Susegad in the Goans.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it so much.
Same.
But to a degree, I do agree that we shouldn't always be striving. But at the same time, I think too many Goans are too Susegad.
Yeah.
And like for those who don't know what the meaning of Susegad is, how would you explain it?
Relaxed.
Relaxed.
In your most relaxed form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they take it too easy.
Yeah, too easy. Like, there's no shop open at, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And there is afternoons always, all the shops are closed. Then at 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 also, they are going home so soon.
So I think one what can I say? One medicine for what Susegad is. What would you say a cure for the Susegad lifestyle is?
I don't know. I think they need to just strive harder.
Strive harder.
Yeah. It's not like they're not hardworking. For that slots, they are hardworking. But what I'm saying is you've not unlocked your full potential.
Yeah.
You can unlock that. So why are you
Yeah, I
stuck?
believe there are a lot of people who need to hear this. I think the anecdote, I mean, or the antidote to Susegad is discomfort. And lately I've been using this word because somebody inspired me. They need a fatish, like a whip, fatak. Get your ass moving.
Yeah.
Like, I think people need that sometimes.
Yeah.
And actually, to be honest, I've also noticed as soon as I get comfortable, shit happens.
Yeah. You're right.
So I need to be on top of my
You
game.
need to put yourself in different, situations which make you uncomfortable. Definitely.
Amazing. Love that. Okay, so my next question was about the pandemic, but we already know like how the pandemic affected you. I mean, I think your new life began
It began, yeah.
during the pandemic.
I have a lot to owe to that pandemic.
That's amazing. So, okay, next question is, what would you say? I think I know the answer already, but I'm just going to ask you. Keys to getting more business.
Good relationship.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good relationship and hard work.
Hmm.
That's how you'll get more.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Could you expand on that?
Yeah, like you have to. Most of my business has come from word of mouth.
Yeah.
And it is, if I don't trust you, I will not talk about you to somebody else, right?
Right.
It's a relationship that we share. That's why I will recommend you to somebody else or refer you to someone else.
Yeah.
So that is all about that. It's the relationship that we have to share, and
Good
hard work,
relationship
of
and
course.
hard work.
Now that I've gotten a referral from of somebody else, I don't want to let you down, right?
Yeah.
So it's a hard work over there now to build this person's trust also. So it's a cycle then afterwards.
Beautiful. Okay. So, now that we're nearing the end, what are your future plans or like new business opportunities? Okay, before you answer that,
Yeah.
she has a plan to start a podcast just talking about bad clients.
Yeah, worst clients ever.
I'd love to hear that
Yeah.
podcast. Do I? Yeah, I think I could also share some stories.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Every one of us has got one worst client.
You should
at least.
definitely start.
Yeah.
Make me your
Yeah.
guest as well.
I will. I'm sure you'll have a lot because you've also met so many people.
Yeah. Lot. Maybe. I don't know.
We don't reveal names and all. We'll just talk about
Just
them.
no
right?
names.
Yeah.
But we're still.
Yeah.
I don't want to use any foul language on this podcast.
Correct.
All right. So what new opportunities or what are your future plans?
Future plans is, honestly, I want the youth to know that anything is possible, first of all. And it's not necessary that I was a doctor, I was an engineer, and that's why I cannot get into this field. You can get into the field. You have to have the right mindset. And that's what I want. I want to start an academy where I train these people. Yes, I want to start a course to train these people.
Wait, which people?
The youth. I want to train the youth.
In what field?
So I want those people who actually have taken a field and have been lost.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a freelancing academy.
Wow.
Okay, so where I'm not going to teach them a particular skill, but I want to teach them that you can be your own boss, you can be a freelancer, that you decide. If later on they decided I want to be a freelancer in writing or in marketing, something that I do, then they can again come to me. But the first step would be that, it's fine if you have taken a stream and you realize that that's not for you. You can do anything that you want. And you just have to have the right mindset. Like I said, I have dealt with toxic. Everybody talks about this word toxic. It's become very common in recent years. You
Yeah.
know, this word toxic environment. So what is it? Toxic client, toxic workplace. Everybody knows about. Toxic clients also everybody knows about. But there's also something known as toxic employees. Like your
that
employees
you
can
recently
be. Yeah,
discovered.
like they can one bad employee can spoil everything for you. So talk about that, toxicity in the workplace and how to get over that. What can you do? You can be the best, but you have to figure it out, spot it when you can spot it and take your action immediately, which I did not do. Like I spotted it that it was happening, but I should have taken my actions that time, but I didn't. So teaching about being your own freelancer, how to talk to clients, how to get a pitch, all those kind of things, whatever field, you decide your field later. But teaching them that you can do anything you want to do.
Wow.
Literally anything.
That's a really nice initiative. And so, Marion, this has been an amazing conversation. I want you to let us know, how do we find you? Like, where's the best place to get in touch with you?
I want to say call, but I know you will not support that.
No. Even I haven't given my number.
Yeah. But 360 degrees pink is my handle. I'm
On
very
Instagram?
active over there.
Yeah.
Recently I started using LinkedIn too. So it's Marion Mendes over there. So LinkedIn.
How do you spell that?
LinkedIn.com/MARION MENDES.
All right.
Marion
cool.
Mendes. Find me there. And these are my socials. I like being contacted here. And I'll get back to you. I will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, before we close, do you have any message for the audience? I know we have spoken a lot.
Yeah.
But a closing message to the audience?
Don't let anyone steal your thunder. Do whatever you want to do. You have one life, so just do it. You might be, even if it's like at 20 you want to do something, you want to be a businessman. At 20 at 30 you realize that was not working for you, and you from an engineer you want to become a painter. Just do it. It will happen.
Marion,
if you really want to do it, it will happen.
I may lose all my guys.
Oh yeah. Marion
But
told me
hopefully
that
I've been
day.
kind enough to them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's fine. The one of the great things of knowing everything yourself is you can build a new person.
Yeah. Correct.
You know?
Right.
Like I'll have to start from scratch again. Hopefully, please don't leave, guys. I love you. But I can
Yeah.
start from scratch,
Yeah.
and that's a reassuring feeling
Right.
to be in a discomfort zone, because that's when you grow.
Yeah. That's
Awesome.
when you grow. Yeah.
So this has been such an amazing talk. Thank you so
Yes,
much, Marion.
thank you.
I'm so glad you finally came.
Yeah.
And you finally picked up my
finally
call.
picked up the call. Yeah.
But thank you so much. And that's it. Well, that was the third AD episode of the Creative Genesis podcast. What did you think about it? We would love to know your feedback in the comments section on YouTube. Plus, we post reels and shorts of this podcast on our Instagram page at Winfluence_media. That's WINFLUENCE_media. Plus our YouTube channel, Ryan Lobo Films. So do follow us there. Subscribe to this channel and follow us on all platforms where podcasts are found. We are currently listed on Spotify, Amazon Music, Amazon Audible, and Apple Podcasts. We would love if you give us a 5-star rating on Amazon and on Apple Podcasts, so that the stories of these incredible speakers are heard by more young people. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.